Hey guys, it's Dave with MACkites. We're here to talk about an extension on the last video I did, which would be your intro to one-footer tricks. So in this one, we're going to talk about variations on one-footers, as well as some of what I think about when adding it into a trick like a front roll or other types of rotations. So let's jump into it and let's talk about the variations. So some of the variations we're going to talk about today would be a standard one-footer, an extended one-footer, a one-footer in front of the board, and then the last one would be a no-handed one-footer, which is one I picked up from Hamza in Egypt. So with the standard one-footer, you want to think about, when you pull that board off, as we've talked about before, kind of just pointing the leg straight down. You're not really going too wide on any sort of variations. You can kind of tweak the board itself a little bit to make it look a little nicer rather than staying kind of crunched up with it. You can extend both legs, and then the board's going to be up at a bit of a diagonal. It looks nice, it looks really clean because it looks very controlled versus kind of some of your first ones where you're sort of crunched up, your legs kind of extended out just as quick as you can. I think these sort of standard ones are nice because there's not too much different than when you're doing your initial one, but it's showing you've got a bit more control, and I think that comes across with the way it looks. The next variation here is an extended one-footer. It's one of my favorites. It's one that I like to do a lot because I think you can really make it your own with how you want to style it, how you want to twist your body in the air. So really, when I do this one, I think about, getting that board off and then trying to point and poke my back leg as far back behind me as I can and extend my arm out in front of me. I want to make as much of almost like a V shape between my back leg coming out to me and then my arm going out this way, so you get a lot of extension and a lot of room. What you can do too that can be fun with this one is once you get comfortable, you can kind of rotate a little and you can actually look underneath the board as it's coming across you, which can be a fun one when you're with friends and things like that and you're kind of joking around. It allows you to go a little bit bigger with these one-footers and twist your bodies in different ways and really showcase your own type of style, because this one I think really lends itself to just like what different ways of movement are comfortable to you and can help kind of make a trick your own. The next one I want to talk about is doing a one-footer in front. So up until now, we've always talked about taking that foot out and the same behind you. So like, sliding your foot out of that foot strap and then, bringing just your foot straight back. This time we're going to talk about kind of pulling that foot out and then going in front of your board. This one, the first time you do it, it's going to feel a little bit odd because you're kind of doing one motion with your leg and then almost kind of lifting your leg up and over the board and trying to poke your leg out forward. This is one you'll see a lot of people do. Sometimes they'll mix them together. They'll kind of go back, extend a little bit, and then go out and go forward. I think that can be a fun addition because especially if you've got a bit more hang time, you've already kind of done the one-footer. If you've got time, it gives you a bit of extra style to extend it out, do something different. I think this can be a fun one for kind of also twisting your body in sort of the opposite direction because you're going to now bring your arm back a bit to get your leg in front. So naturally it's going to twist your body a bit the opposite way of the extended one-footer we talked about. So I think this is another great addition of just same trick, same basic principles, but you're really able to start making these your own and doing what you want to do with them. And then the last one I'm going to talk about here is doing a no-handed one-footer. So with this one, it's easiest if you kind of sneak your back foot out a little bit before you do your jump. What I like to think about is rather than having my foot all the way in here, I will kind of slide my heel back just a little bit such that I know I'm going to be able to pull that foot out without needing any assistance, because in the rest of the one-footers, even if your foot's in there really snug, you're able to just kind of pull the board off your foot when you've got your hand on it. But if your hands aren't there, you're going to need to be able to slide that foot out really easy, but then also be able to put it back in quite easily because you're not going to have that hand to push it back in. This one, again, same thing as the regular one-footer. I highly recommend really focusing on keeping your eyes on that foot strap the whole time when you're first learning it. It's going to feel weird. The board's going to swing. If you snowboard, you're probably used to this feeling from when you're sitting on the chairlift and things like that. You're just going to have, the one leg attached to it and that weight of an entire board just on one leg sort of dangling, you know how that wants to really swing out. So as soon as you pull your foot out, the board's going to want to swing away from you. The best thing you can do is engage your hip flexors and try to keep your leg up. It'll stop the board from swinging too far. And then really curl your toes into that foot pad, and it'll help stop the board itself from swinging down around your foot. You're going to flex, and that should help keep the board upright. So you're going to jump, look down, watch for the foot pad as you slide that foot out. If you want to help keep compact or to just have a little bit of fun with it, I go and I'll grab my back ankle as I'm up in the air. Both, I think this looks cool and fun, but also I actually think it helps quite a bit because you kind of keep your body sort of compact, and it helps from having too many things swinging around. And then when you're ready to try to put your foot back in, what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to do a lot with your left leg this time compared to all the other times when it's really all with your arm bringing the board in. You're going to have to flex hard with that left leg. If you're going to the left, sorry, I should clarify, you're going to have to flex hard with that front leg to swing the board up, and you're going to have to kind of catch it on the way up. It's not going to want to sit and stay there where you can just kind of watch for it, like when you're holding with your hand and get your foot in. It's going to swing up, and you're going to have to kind of catch it during the movement. The harder you can flex your foot into the foot pad and hold tight, kind of twisting your ankle to pull that board up, the longer you're going to have there for it to be able to go back in. But it is still going to be a quick movement of catching back in, and most likely it's not going to be that your foot's all the way in and clean like you're used to with the one footer, where with the hand you can pull and make sure your foot gets where you want to be on the foot pad. So you might be landing with your foot only kind of partially in, so trying to make sure to also land very flat, very downwind is just going to help you, because everything's landing flat is really going to be your friend in this. So give these ones a try. Let me know what you guys think. As always, happy to respond to any comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.